Tonight on CTV News at 6. Feeling abandoned in their time of need.
If you self-evacuate, then they don't have to contribute anything, towards the evacuation or, post-evacuation measures like lodging and foods.
We speak with a representative for Collins First Nation, citing a lack of support in their evacuation. And one step closer to their forever homes.
Completely antisocial when they arrived, huddled in corners, and now they love the outdoors.
27 dogs rescued from a small apartment in Sudbury are getting ready for adoption. Plus, inspiring fans around the world.
I see a lot of kids engage with the World Cup, and I'm always asking them about that, so that means they're watching it.
Sudbury soccer clubs are talking FIFA and how it's boosted the sport locally.
CTV News at 6 with Marina Moore and Tony Rima with weather.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. The Anishinaabe Nation Grand Council Chief is calling for government support as wildfires rage on in northwestern Ontario. Namagusingagan, also known as Collins First Nation, has been devastated, and there's fear a loophole could stop the residents from getting aid. CTV's Madison Merrier explains.
Premier Doug Ford and Provincial Minister spoke to the press today about the out-of-control wildfires in the north and the evacuations of several communities, including Namagusingagan First Nation.
At the end of the day, the decision was made to evacuate, of course, in boats. I think everybody's seen the pictures that have circulated online.
Self-evacuated?
Yes, self-evacuated, absolutely self-evacuated. There are many communities that self-evacuate.
Had that community awaited for the official evacuation order, the official government evacuation order, this would be a recovery mission right now. We would be going in to look for the bodies of children, of elders, of men and women of this community.
Self-evacuating saved lives, but Debasiage says without an official evacuation order, the federal government could deny aid to those displaced.
I was quite upset when I read that because they use that line to limit their liability to the situation. Because in their bureaucratic processes, if you self-evacuate, then they don't have to contribute anything, towards the evacuation or, post-evacuation measures like lodging and foods.
Debasiage believes the First Nation was sacrificed for neighboring communities who received evacuation orders, despite saying Namagusingagan was at the same risk as Armstrong and White Sand.
Some of the conversations I've been having with other leaders, who's next? It's not a matter of if, now it's a matter of when. We've seen these fires progressively intensify. Now the fires have actually wiped out an entire community.
So if you can imagine, from the time the fire was spotted to the time it was essentially on top of everybody was only within a couple of hours. So we did our best. Like I said, we're fighting 150, 160, 170 fires at the time across the province. So we'll continue to work with Collins to look at what's going to happen as we move forward in the future.
Harris says the province will continue to work with the First Nation. Meanwhile, a lawyer representing the First Nation wrote a letter to the Indigenous Services Minister Thursday calling for feds to treat them as any other community. Madison Merrier, CTV News, Sudbury.
Across northern Ontario, there are 189 forest fires being reported today. The Ontario government and the Assembly of First Nations have called on Ottawa to provide immediate support. CTV's Heather Wright is in Thunder Bay with the latest on the fires raging to the west.
So we got our building supplies.
With a massive forest fire burning about 5 kilometers away, Sean Dufresne has packed up whatever he can into his truck and trailer.
This is only the stuff that we can move. There's still 2 permanent residents that's going to burn.
The community of Upsala is about 150 kilometers northwest of Thunder Bay. There's no evacuation order here, but people are being told to leave before things get worse.
There are a bunch of communities that have been overrun, and we could be one of them.
Upsala Fire Chief Doug Keesbring says they are doing what they can to protect the town.
We'll put one sprinkler system on the roof.
Getting sprinklers in place to protect properties like the fire hall. But the town's resources are limited, and with so many fires burning, the province's resources are being stretched as well.
They have limited resources for a massive demand this year. This is probably the fire season of a lifetime.
And while rain this morning brought some reprieve, it was not enough.
We're just good for a little while. We bought a little bit of time, but we have in no way won the war.
Communities across the country are fighting battles against fierce and fast-moving wildfires. Roughly 900 fires are burning across the country, forcing thousands of people from their homes. Well, officials have promised more resources to battle the fires and help those affected by them. Many here in the north say they're not seeing enough action.
We might not be in Southern Ontario, but we are in Northwestern Ontario. We are still in Ontario. Like, do we not deserve some rights or something?
You feel forgotten?
I feel forgotten.
Today, Ontario's premier said more than 150 firefighters and over 80 water bombers and helicopters have been deployed to fight these fires. But with more than 190 burning across the province, including 20 new ones today alone, this is an ever-changing situation they are trying to respond to. Heather Wright, CTV News, Uppsala, Ontario.
So let's take a look at the bigger picture here. The wildfires in Northern Ontario represent about a fifth of all wildfires across Canada today. This is what the fire map for Canada looks like. There are 24 new wildfires across the country today, pushing the number of active wildfires, as mentioned, to 891. So far this year, there have been 3,639 wildfires burning an area of close to 3 million hectares or 30,000 square kilometers. For comparison, that's nearly half the size of New Brunswick. Transport Canada is looking into whether CN Rail broke the law after a crew had to be rescued from a train surrounded by flames. Video of the incident shows red-orange flames closing in on a train near Armstrong in northwestern Ontario. Transport Canada says the government is looking at whether CN failed to comply with rules under the Railway Safety Act. The company says rail operations in part of northwestern Ontario have been suspended. The crew did get out safely after fleeing on foot for more than a kilometer before they were rescued. So how's the air quality situation across the north today? Let's find out in our first check on weather with CTV's Rick Wyman. He's filling in for Tony tonight. Rick, are we still seeing any alerts?
Yes, you're seeing right now with our systems map, Marina, we've got the continuation of the poor air quality right now in and around the Wawa area, Sault Ste. Marie, that's infiltrating Blind River and Gore Bay as well. Some of that lower levels almost approaching Espanola as well. So it even continues as far north as Hearst and even Moosonee. So again, the weather quality will be affected by heavy downpour of, lots of precipitation happening tonight, overnight, continuing into tomorrow. Then it's going to clear up. And again, that air quality is not going to resolve itself. It'll still linger even after the rain. So we'll talk more about the weather and some of the current details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Marina?
All right. Thank you, Rick. In other news, we have an update tonight on 27 dogs that were rescued from a hoarding situation in a two-bedroom Sudbury apartment. 60 days later, we're learning positive changes have taken place. CTV's Alana Everson reports.
It's playtime for these 11-month-old Labradoodle Bully Mix pups. They've been at PetSave for the past 60 days, getting a lot of care and confidence building.
Completely antisocial when they arrived, huddled in corners, and now they love the outdoors. You know, their first day on grass, they just kind of froze, but now they're out running. We have a 1-acre fenced-in pen here, and they love the outdoors, so they're having a blast.
They were never outside, never on leashes. They would always be inside. So working with them, you have to be very patient, very calm, show them that you're safe.
Many of the rescued animals have been adopted, but PetSave says the older pups needed more work.
We even have volunteers that actually bring them to their houses now so that they're getting ready to go out for adoption and everything. So they're getting housebroken, they're getting exposed to what it is like to be a normal dog in a household.
Many are now ready for adoption. PetSave says this case came to light when a concerned family member reported the hoarding to PetSave.
If you're aware of a situation where somebody has, multiple animals, the quicker you get into those homes and help fix the problem, the better. It's better for the animals, it's better for our organization.
PetSave says the parents were spayed and neutered and returned to the owners as part of the deal to end the hoarding situation. Alana Everson, CTV News, Lively.
And still to come here on CTV News at 6, we get a look at items recently discovered in a time capsule in Sault Ste. Marie. And a Timmins woman celebrates a special birthday marking 100 years. Stay with us. A Bracebridge man has been charged just south of North Bay in Callander for impaired driving. OPP say they were conducting a traffic stop on Highway 94 Wednesday when officers observed the vehicle swerving between lanes. When they pulled the man over, police say they found open alcohol and cannabis inside the vehicle. The 63-year-old faces 4 impaired driving related charges. After being exposed in an expense scandal this week, Provincial Cabinet Minister Stan Cho announced that he's stepping down today. This comes as another cabinet minister is also leaving the legislature. CTV's Siobhan Morris has the latest.
Less than a week after a $16,000 hotel tab came to light, Stan Cho has resigned as Minister of Tourism, Culture and Gaming.
It's unacceptable. It's not tolerated. And Stan did the right thing.
The cost of hotel stays billed to taxpayers, even though Cho lives just 6 kilometers from Queen's Park. The allowance designed to help local MPPs in emergencies. In his resignation letter, Cho writes that he only claimed accommodation on nights the legislature sat late. And on late nights, he made a choice that was easier for him, not stopping to ask how it would look to someone working a double shift. Cho says he made a mistake and has repaid every cent. The opposition leader says it's not enough.
The people of Ontario demand answers, and I will say as well, he's not even the worst offender.
Public records show the parliamentary assistant to the Minister of Transportation racked up the biggest bill since 2023. Hardeep Grewal, who represents Brampton East, billed taxpayers for over $27,000. Nina Tangri from Mississauga Streetsville had almost 19 grand in hotel bills. And Charmaine Williams of Brampton Centre has been repaid close to $16,000.
They can all resign. It's not going to stop me from demanding answers from this premier, because you know what? The rot starts at the very top.
The premier wouldn't say if other ministers or parliamentary assistants should step down or if he'll overhaul all expenses.
We're changing that policy, and they know how upset I was, and we're going to move forward, and there has to be accountability, and we don't operate that way. That's not in our DNA.
The interim Liberal leader isn't sure that's the case.
It's a pattern of abuse of taxpayer dollars. But why are we surprised? The premier tried to buy himself a luxury private jet. There's a culture of entitlement in this government, and it starts with the premier.
Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
Just weeks after the company demolishing the former General Hospital in Sault Ste. Marie uncovered a time capsule from the 60s, another one from the early 1950s has also been unearthed. CTV's Corey Nordstrom got to see the contents as the mayor examined this latest find.
The Sault's mayor and the head of the local museum opened the time capsule together.
September 22nd, 1953. That's the Sault Daily Star.
In addition to newspapers, the cylinder contained documents written by staff of the Catholic facility and medallions from those same nuns.
Just to be able to find them and open them up and see what the community of the past wanted to share with the community of the future, I think is a great opportunity, not only for us to kind of reflect on how healthcare was at that point, but to kind of see where healthcare is currently at this point and what that looked like in between.
There's interesting headlines. I mean, they talked about the uncertainty in global affairs. They talked about municipalities wanting a better deal from the province, and so I think that the more things change, sometimes the more they stay the same.
This marks the second such opening to come from the demolition of the old General Hospital. Staff say there was no records of these time capsules, though they did have their suspicions.
It dates back to 1907, but that B wing was built in 1953, and we kind of figured
if there's going to be a time capsule, it would be right where that block or the indicator was for 1953.
We haven't gone through these in extensive detail yet, but it appears to be for an expansion on the west side of the building that was probably, would more commonly be known kind of as the maternity wing.
Also at the old hospital, a cornerstone from the 1907 building has been uncovered, though demolition crews are doubtful that another time capsule lies within its structure. For the two recently discovered sets of artifacts, museum officials say they could be on display by early August. Corey Nordstrom, CTV News, Sault Ste. Marie.
A Timmins woman is celebrating a remarkable milestone. Peggy Atkinson turned 100 today, surrounded by family, friends, and of course a few surprises. CTV's Lydia Chubak reports.
Peggy Atkinson was born in England and arrived in Canada with her family during the Great Depression.
We came to Canada in 1932.
At the time, Peggy's father took a job at the Hollinger gold mine in Timmins, and Peggy continues to call the city home. She lives in the Timmins and District Hospital's alternate level of care unit in the St. Mary's Gardens building.
We talked to her the other day and we were like, what do you have planned for your birthday? She's like, absolutely nothing. It'll be another typical day. And we woke her up at 10 this morning and she realized it wasn't a typical other day.
What followed was a room filled with family, friends, and well-wishers who came to mark the occasion.
We, unfortunately, working in healthcare, sometimes we don't have people that will make it to 100, so just with it being a huge milestone, we had to celebrate.
So what's Peggy's secret to living to 100? You know we had to ask. Both she and her sons credit healthy living and staying optimistic, and some good food.
Roast beef and Yorkshire pudding.
Peggy has 3 sons, and the family says some of their best memories were made during camping trips across North America. One of her sons says he makes sure to visit his mom every day.
I believe that helps, like getting her outside. I mean, there's nothing worse than being lonely, right?
The celebration also included a visit from Mayor Michelle Boileau, and the staff treated Peggy to gifts.
I'm surprised. I didn't expect this.
Everything is wonderful, and when you see a day like this and this many people show up, it's very special.
And then came a special moment as the people who care for Peggy sang Happy Birthday.
Happy birthday, dear Peggy. Happy birthday to you.
Lydia Chubak, CTV News, Timmins.
How nice is that? And happy birthday to you, Peggy, from all of us here at CTV Northern Ontario. Back we go over to Rick now for a check on the current conditions this Friday evening. Rick, it's feeling a little cooler out there today, which of course is welcome news.
Marina, some strange conditions coming up in terms of temperature. It'll cool down a little bit, then it'll get back up to what we call seasonal values. But first, let's check out our currents right now. You might be surprised there is some rain already in the forecast. This is what it looks like right now in terms of the northeast. We've got precipitation in some areas like Moosonee at 24, some sun and cloud, Cochrane 23, Timmins with the rain, and Kapuskasing 22 with the rain as well. Chapleau 18, cloudy skies. Wawa, of course, were affected by smoke at 19. Sault Ste. Marie, some precipitation and some smoke as well, so that air quality still is not diminished. Totally 26 in Parry Sound, some sun and cloud. Moving on up to North Bay this hour, 22, some sun and cloud. Temiskaming Shores, Kirkland Lake, mainly sunny, 25 and 26. Greater Sudbury, some cloud. Espanola with the rain, 27, 22 Elliott Lake. And of course, 21 Gore Bay affected by the smoke. Your 7-day report card, Marina, coming up in just a couple of minutes.
All right, we'll look forward to that. Thank you, Rick. Next on CTV News at 6. As the Royal Canadian Legion marks its 100th anniversary, we find out how the group is attracting new members. And what you should know about changes to insurance rules in Ontario. That's coming up. Mexico's top diplomat says his country is not looking to cut a deal with the United States if it means abandoning the trilateral trade pact with Canada. The pair also talked about other climate-related partnerships.
We are deepening cooperation on public safety, emergency preparedness, and climate action. This is the true substance of our partnership. coordinated action in the areas that matter most. Today's discussions confirm that this momentum continues to grow.
We are expanding Canada's dark vessel detection program to Mexico, backed by an investment of up to $7 million that will help 6 countries use the Canadian satellite technology to detect suspected illegal fishing and safeguard biodiversity in protected marine areas.
Anand added that Mexico is Canada's 3rd largest trading partner with more than $62 billion in annual two-way trade. And now the latest on the planned opening of the Gordie Howe Bridge between Windsor, Ontario and Detroit, Michigan. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre calling on Prime Minister Mark Carney to release details of the agreement that convinced President Trump to allow the bridge to finally open. Citing what he calls contradictory statements about how much money, if any, would be going to the United States, Poilievre called on the Prime Minister to release the deal so Canadians can see for themselves what was negotiated away to the Americans. Under the original deal, Canada agreed to pay for construction and then collect 100% of the revenue until that investment was recouped. The terms of the new deal have not been released, but there has been confusion over exactly how that revenue will be split between Canada and the United States. The bridge is set to officially open July 27th. President Donald Trump has accused China of the largest compromise of election data in history, accessing millions of voter files starting during the 2020 election cycle. In a primetime address, Trump alleged a cover-up by officials in his own first administration.
My administration is in the process of notifying the states whose election data was compromised by the People's Republic of China and many others. We will be working closely to mitigate any harm, and we're taking swift action to ensure that sensitive voter data is better protected so we can never be bought, we can never be hacked, and we can never watch a stolen election again.
Trump has frequently raised long debunked theories blaming election fraud for his loss to Joe Biden 6 years ago. Critics say Trump is trying to revive false claims about previous elections in order to delegitimize the upcoming U.S. midterm elections. A spokesperson for the Chinese embassy in Washington says Beijing, quote, has never and will never interfere in the presidential elections of the U.S. A milestone celebration today for the Royal Canadian Legion. The organization turns 100, and as CTV's Annie Bergeron-Oliver tells us, the Legion is looking ahead to keep membership going for another 100 years.
In many areas of the country, the Legion is a community hub.
And you served with?
In Orleans, it's not just a place to eat and drink. It's a place to play cards and billiards, to learn to line dance, and even jam out.
It does have a real meaning, a meaning for people who can enjoy being here. And some come in because we got no place else to go.
The Legion has always been a safe space for veterans and their families, filled with specialized programs and supports. But in recent years, many branches struggling with declining memberships have started reaching further into the community, offering activities and events to make younger people and those who have never served feel more welcome.
We do want to attract those people because we want the organization to survive going forward. And it's all about remembrance.
The Royal Canadian Legion was officially founded in 1926 as a way to bring together veterans advocacy groups after the First World War. Today, there are more than 1,300 local branches that all support veterans, advocate for their rights, and ensure the act of remembrance continues. Today in Ottawa, that 100 years of service marked by a special ceremony at the National War Memorial, all about the importance of sacrifice and service.
It's very important to remember the past, and particularly when somebody's given their life so that we can have what we have, you know.
a mission of remembrance and a dedication to military and RCMP members that the Royal Canadian Legion pledges to prioritize over its next 100 years.
To support veterans is our main goal, and of course that's what we're most proud of.
Annie Bergeron-Oliver, CTV News, Ottawa.
And there's more news ahead, but first, here's your full weather forecast with Rick Wyman, which of course includes all of the information so you can plan your weekend. Is that right, Rick?
Well, we've got rain in the forecast, and I hope that doesn't really depress too many people because we'll have a really nice day on Sunday. We'll check that out momentarily. Our forecast radar, that system moving in, and of course we've got showers, lots of rain overnight in some areas, rain heavy at times. We'll talk about that momentarily. Then it'll clear and it'll be nice. It'll give us a break in terms of, well, some of the air conditions, but again, once it starts to warm up, those, air quality conditions will not be as good as they're going to be right after the rain. Let's check out some of the numbers overnight. Sudbury, 15 to 25 millimeters. Sault Ste. Marie, 30 to 40. Timmins, some showers. Temiskaming Shores, 5 to 10. North Bay, 10 to 20. So overnight conditions into tomorrow. Moosonee, chance of showers. Caphurst, showers. Chance of showers in Wawa. Gore Bay, a few clouds and showers in Parry Sound at 10 to 20 millimeters. How about Sudbury Nickel Belt? Showers tomorrow, 40%, 22. Here we go, 24 Sunday, nice day. Monday, Tuesday, chance of showers both days. Wednesday, Thursday, well, we've got cloud cover Wednesday, Thursday, some sun and some cloud. Sault Ste. Marie Algoma, more shower activity for tomorrow, 22. 22 Sunday, nice day there. Monday, Tuesday, chance of showers both days. Wednesday, Thursday look real good. Sun and cloud at 21 and at 24. How about Timmins, Cochrane, Kapuskasing? Showers, risk of a thunderstorm, 21 tomorrow. Sunny skies Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, chance of showers both days. Cloud cover Wednesday at 20, 23 on Thursday. Sun and cloud, the temperature's nice, and we can appreciate that. Temiskaming Shores, Kirkland Lake, showers, risk of a thunderstorm. Overnight tomorrow, 21, 24 Sunday, sunny skies. Chance of showers at 60% Monday, Tuesday. A bad start. Well, not a bad start, but not the start we want for the week. 23-19 your temperatures. Wednesday, some cloud cover 18 and 23 Thursday. Some sun, some cloud. Now, ladies and gentlemen, North Bay, West Nipissing. Chance of showers, 22. Rainfall for North Bay, as I mentioned earlier, 10 to 20 millimeters. Sunday, some sunshine, 24. Nice day there. Chance of showers Monday. Chance of rain Tuesday, 60%, 19. Only 18 Wednesday, chance of showers. Thursday, some sun, some cloud, 23. Normally your temperatures around this time of the year across the Northeast, 23, 24, and 25. Let's have a look, if you will. Lillian Pakula, roll it. Oh my God. Myrtle Corelli, my favorite in Sault Ste. Marie, turns 90 tomorrow. Myrtle is a big fan of the weather. And you know what? Your son Mike reminded me that a special day is coming up. And gorgeous. You're still gorgeous, Myrtle. Happy 90th birthday from everyone here at CTV. And just like Peggy, as we saw a couple of minutes ago in the news, it's a big weekend for birthdays. So Peggy and Myrtle, happy birthday from everyone here. More news is coming up with Marina after the break.
We know that breathing in wildfire smoke is bad for our lungs, but experts are raising concerns about the impact it has on our brains. Researchers at the University of Calgary say tiny particles from the smoke can enter the bloodstream or get to the brain directly through the nose. Researchers say when toxins reach the brain, that can cause inflammation, resulting in fogginess, lack of focus, and headache. Increasing exposure to these harmful particles can also cause long-term damage to brain cells, leading to cognitive decline. Concerns are being raised tonight about the consequences of Ontario's changes to insurance rules designed to give drivers more choice. As CTV's John Woodward reports, some people will find themselves with less coverage in a crash, and they had no say in it at all.
I was hit by a reckless driver in 2015 and I almost died twice.
A crash that broke Jess Speaker's spine. She couldn't work for months. The driver's insurance paid to replace her income so she wasn't evicted for not paying her rent.
I was lucky to have access to income replacement benefits, and even that was barely enough to keep me housed.
She says that's just one example of payments worth thousands of dollars that have stopped being available for pedestrians and cyclists who are hit by cars but don't have their own vehicles or their own insurance, including income replacement of up to $1,600 a month, death benefits of up to $25,000, and non-earner benefits of up to $750 a month. That's in the wake of a shakeup to the insurance system in Ontario that allows drivers to choose their coverage.
If you drive your own car, you can opt in and get these better supports. But if you don't have your own vehicle, you're not privileged enough to drive a motor vehicle, then you don't have the option. You just get the bottom basement support.
For those hit by a bus, the TTC says it's dropped the optional coverage. And Brampton's transit system says, as a result of the province's regulatory changes, these optional benefits no longer apply to passengers, pedestrians, or cyclists involved in a collision with a city vehicle.
The changes are also affecting a provincial government fund that pays out claims to people injured in a hit and run where the vehicle and the insurance company can't be identified. That fund is also dropping optional coverage.
Everybody who has to access the Motor Vehicle Accident Claims Fund is left at this lower tier of insurance.
Something that may not be widely known. When asked about it, the Premier said this.
Honestly, the first time I've heard of this one.
He referred us to his staff, who said Friday pedestrians and cyclists will continue to have access to medical, rehabilitation, and attendant care benefits and will continue to receive the medical care that they need.
These are cuts designed as choice. But for those unfortunate pedestrians, they had no choice in the matter.
You are so screwed. You could lose your home, your health will not be the same, your life will be blown up.
Speaker calling for the government to rethink these changes and how they protect the most vulnerable on the road. John Woodward, CTV News.
Well, it's summer, and that means you've probably got your AC cranked in your car when you're on the road. In order to keep cool, CTV's Pat Foran has some tips to help you avoid mistakes that could lead to costly repairs.
The first thing to know about quick cooling is that it's not the time to use your remote start because you won't do much to cool down your car and you'll be wasting fuel.
Your car's air conditioning works much better when you're actually driving, because the faster the engine turns, the faster the AC compressor runs, which lets the system cool more effectively.
Your best option, start driving. Turn on the air conditioner and open all the windows for 10 to 20 seconds. Next, crank the fan. Once cold air starts flowing through the vents, roll up the front windows, but keep the rear ones cracked open for another 10 to 20 seconds to pull the cold air to the back of the car.
Adjust the AC temperature to its lowest setting and make adjustments to the fan speed and direction to keep you comfortable. This will actually make the AC efficient, will dry out the air more, and can save some fuel.
And if you have passengers in the back seat, make sure you turn off recirculation mode so the air in the back doesn't get stale and hot. Another tip, if you've got a newer car with an auto start-stop system, you may want to turn it off if you can. This feature saves fuel by shutting off the car's engine when you're stopped, but it may also shut off the car's AC compressor, something you'll want to keep running while you're stuck in stop-and-go traffic. And when you get a chance, check your cabin air filter to make sure it's clean. A dirty filter prevents optimal airflow, and on a hot day, you don't want anything between you and that sweet cold air. Pat Foran, CTV News.
Health Sciences North's Stroke Fund received $5,000 today from a car dealership in Sudbury. The money was raised in June during Southside Buick GMC's Test Drive for Stroke campaign. The dealership donated $50 for every test drive customers took during the month of June, which is Stroke Month. They had a goal of 100 test drives and put the pedal to the metal to achieve their goal. To Timmins now, where the 8th annual Festa Italiana at the Porcupine Dante Club is officially underway. The City of Timmins joined members for a flag raising and proclamation declaring July 17th to July 19th as Festa Italiana Days. The Dante Club is inviting people to come celebrate Italian culture with incredible food, entertainment, family fun, and yes, of course, community spirit. Still ahead on CTV News at 6. It's a unique opportunity for the theater community. We check in on a training opportunity being hosted in North Bay. There's a major shakeup in the Northern Ontario Hockey League. The Sudbury Cubs announced last night they're handing the franchise back over to the league as of July 16th. CTV News can confirm the league has been sent a letter from the team's owners of their departure. The letter lists a number of reasons, including the unfettered movement of players, open recruitment from other leagues, and exodus of players to southern leagues for more exposure. The news comes just hours after the league had released the upcoming schedule for the year with the Cubs on it. CTV News has reached out to the league for comment but has yet to receive a response. As the World Cup heads into its final weekend, its impact is being felt everywhere, including here in the Northeast. Sports groups in Sudbury say the tournament has sparked a renewed passion for soccer, with interest in the sport reaching new heights. CTV's Amanda Hicks reports.
While the global soccer stage wraps up this weekend, the Sudbury Regional Competitive Soccer League says the momentum in the Nickel City is just beginning. Organizers say major international tournaments always sparks a fresh influx of energy.
You see the spike. The youth come in, they're now new fans to the game. Older retirees come back to coach or ref or even get back into our older divisions, and you see everybody wearing their different jerseys, supporting their communities.
The SRCSL has been carving out its place in the local sports scene since 1907. Over a century later, that tradition continues to unite a diverse community.
It brings all the people of different religions and personality together, and then when on the ground you are all like a team, and then you play like a team, and then I think it just brings people together, and then that's what I love about soccer.
That legacy is driving a wave of energy on the pitch this summer, felt among players fueled by World Cup passion.
Definitely a bit more inspired, for sure. When we see a lot of the performances, especially us from other nations. My parents are from Congo, so seeing the Congolese goalkeepers give performances like they've been doing, and these guys, a lot of them are Latinos, Colombians, too, so seeing how Colombia has been doing in the World Cup has been pretty good and inspiring to them.
On the Pro-Am level, the head coach of the Sudbury Cyclones says World Cup fever has taken over the entire city.
Here in Sudbury, obviously being involved in the community at the Greater Sudbury Soccer Club, I see a lot of kids engaged with the World Cup, and I'm always asking them about that, so that means they're watching it. Similar in North Bay, I ran a camp there this week, and the youth are engaged.
Meanwhile, in honor of the World Cup, the Sudbury Regional Competitive Soccer League offered a free session for kids aged 4 to 8 in June. On Sunday, August 23rd, the league will be hosting its second session right here at the James Jerome Sports Complex, this time focusing on youth aged 9 to 13. Registration is free. You just need to bring a non-perishable food item. Amanda Hicks, CTV News, Sudbury.
And speaking of the FIFA World Cup, England and France will battle for third place tomorrow at 5 p.m. That game being played in Miami. And Sunday is the big finale. Defending World Cup champions Argentina will play Spain in the World Cup final at 3 p.m. in New Jersey. You can catch both games live on CTV, TSN, and Crave. Canadore College in North Bay has been hosting actors, teachers, and directors from around the world as they train with renowned acting coach Larry Silverberg. CTV's Eric Tashner went backstage to bring us this story.
It's been a lot of practice for these acting students, learning their lines and getting into character.
Being present in the moment and working with an element of truth so that your work comes out honestly.
All under the guidance and mentorship of Larry Silverberg, who has spent decades training thousands of actors, directors, and teachers in the Meisner technique, based off his former instructor, the late Sanford Meisner.
Total freedom on stage and in front of the camera, so the actor becomes the full, authentic expression of everything they are in each moment.
Actors are taught to live truthfully under imaginary circumstances, focusing on being emotionally present with their scene partners instead of simply memorizing the lines and cues.
Taking the audience's breath away, the audience sitting at the edge of their seat, not believing what they're witnessing.
I say my lines, now you say your lines. It's not like that at all. Those lines are
in your blood.
The Meisner technique has influenced generations of performers like Gregory Peck, Jeff Goldblum, and Tom Cruise.
Every actor is looking for the opportunity to learn how to be the most realistic they can be on camera, to literally live and breathe as the character.
This method helps actors bring those qualities into their work on stage or in front of the camera. For others, these new skills will be passed along to other aspiring actors.
I'm mostly right now directing, going back to direct, so it gives me a little chance to work with the actors.
There are talks underway to bring Silverberg back next summer for a second retreat session.
For an actor who's going to take on many roles, they have to be free of the act so they can play any part.
Because after all,
I'm tired of coming home every day to this mess.
The show must go on. Eric Tashner, CTV News, North Bay.
Meanwhile, in Sudbury, Yes Theatre is launching a new training program. It's called the Gymnasium, and the group says it's an 8-week intensive program led by one of Canada's most respected educators and directors, Jeanette Lambermont-Maury. We're told the program provides participants with tools, techniques, and confidence to strengthen their performance skills. The 8-week sessions begin in the fall, and registration closes Friday, September 4th. Go to yestheatre.com for more information. An all-star cast hits the big screen this weekend as Odyssey. David Daniel talks to Zendaya, who plays opposite her real-life husband in the film.
You gods don't speak in ways we understand.
Who doesn't understand pain or blood?
Zendaya says when her husband Tom Holland was cast in the Odyssey as Telemachus, they didn't know she'd end up playing the goddess Athena.
So Tom got the call, and I was over the moon, so excited. I was like, you have to do this, first of all. We'll figure out the schedule, whatever. And he, had a script that he was able to read, and I kind of maybe was over his shoulder reading it a little bit too. And I remember he came back home from a second meeting, and in no ways did I think, I was like, we're already winning. This is the win has happened.
But
he came home and he was like, read this again. And I was like, okay, yeah. Like maybe you want to talk about it some more or whatever. But he was like, now read it thinking about this character. And I was like, you're joking. And he was like, you have a meeting tomorrow. And I was like, oh, what? Yeah. So it was pretty cool that he got to be the one to let me know that I have a little meeting.
The gods told you.
Then I defy the gods.
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Today, Apple ousted NVIDIA as the world's most valuable company. BNN Bloomberg's Marina Fernandez has more.
But not for long. By the end of the trading day, it was NVIDIA back at the top. Here's what happened. NVIDIA shares dropped this morning, sinking its market cap to $4.8 trillion U.S. Chip makers are being dragged down by investor concerns. The drop made room for Apple to grab the top spot with a value of $4.9 trillion. But it switched back by the end of the day, letting NVIDIA keep the title it has had since May of 2025. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is up to 71.38 U.S. West Texas Intermediate up over $4 to 72.31 U.S. Western Canadian Select is down to 65.02, and the TSX lost 76 points today. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marina Fernandez.
Let's take a look now at the current prices for some key commodities we watch. Gold is up $41.45, closing the day at $47.70 U.S. an ounce. Silver is up 39 cents, copper dipped 7 cents, and nickel is down 17 cents, ending the day at $7.46 U.S. a pound. Let's head back over to Rick now for one last look at the weather, all the things you need to know for Saturday.
Well, Marina, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. That's why I always say, don't blame the messenger. So people were saying, oh, you're back on television tonight. What about some nice weather? You'll have to wait till Sunday. Risk of thunderstorms for tomorrow. And of course, that precipitation, 15, 20, maybe 25 millimeters of rain. Timmins, not as severe, 21, risk of thunderstorms. Sault Ste. Marie, risk of thunderstorms. Rain heavy at times, anywhere from 30 to 40 millimeters of rain in that forecast. North Bay, more of the same, 15 to 20, maybe 25 millimeters, 22 degrees. Parry Sound showers, and Temiskaming Shores 21 in showers, and of course a lot of rain in Gore Bay as well. So again, it's going to be wet, but it will get better. Marina?
Well, hey, if it is raining, you can head inside in Sudbury to the Gem and Mineral Show. It kicked off tonight in Sudbury. It's the 44th annual show hosted by the Sudbury Rock and Lapidary Society, and it's the largest show and sale of its kind in the north. The Gem and Mineral Show is open until 9 tonight and will run throughout the weekend, showcasing fossils, jewelry, gems, and more. This year, the show will be featuring a certified gemologist who will be providing free identification for gemstones that you might have at home. So there's something you can do if the wet weather arrives. And of course, we can use the rain, so it is not a bad thing. I will take it. That is all the time we have here on CTV News at 6. Thank you as always for watching, and please have a fun and safe weekend. I'll see you next week. Good night.